We look after nature, and we mamas see that you are killing it by what you do. We can no longer repair the world. You must.
You are uprooting the earth, and we are divining to discover how to teach you to stop.
On the Colombian shore of the Caribbean stands the highest coastal mountain on Earth. The more I heard about it, the stranger it sounded. The Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta is a triangular, corrugated pyramid of rock almost 4 miles high. The people hidden in its folds call the Sierra the heart of the world. It's an idea that makes sense. The Sierra is a copy of the whole planet in miniature. At the edge of the sea, it's in the tropics. It's very hot and very lush. 25 miles from the beaches, there are snow peaks. Here, the climate is Arctic, the temperature never rising to 0. Every range of temperature and every range of rainfall. Parts of the Sierra are desert. Other parts are tropical rainforest and mountain cloud forest. Almost every animal and every plant from anywhere in the world can find a home somewhere in the Sierra. Only the birds can leave. Everything else is trapped in the pocket environment that suits it. Anyone who studies the Sierra must see it as a totality. It's a planet in miniature. I knew that once, where now there's only dense jungle, there was a rich civilization. The Spanish called it Tirona. In 1973, a tomb robber found a monumental, ceremonial Tirona city. But what was it? How did it function? Today, it's known simply as the Lost City. The paved roads of the city spread over the whole mountain. When Columbus entered the Caribbean, 1/3 people lived on this mountain, in cities built in close harmony with nature. 160 inches of rain a year for 400 years have not eroded these walls. The priests who supervised Tirona architects understood the natural forces around them. There were many cities at different levels on the mountain, each producing the goods and crops appropriate to its place and exchanging them by walking the roads. Our cities fight nature, and if we abandon them, they crumble. The lost city has survived as mute evidence that hundreds of thousands of people can live sophisticated lives in a small space in harmony with nature. The civilization that built this understood the relationship between the different parts of the mountain and treated it as a whole. The secrets of Tirona civilization appear to have been lost, but that is not the case. By the roadside at the entrance to the lost city, there's a carved stone. It seems to be a map of the complete system, covering the whole mountain massif. But although there are many ancient roadways, they do not fit the map. The mapstone is clearly important, but what is being mapped? people who know. The descendants of the Tairona, the Kogi, still live in cities higher in the Sierra. All of the civilizations that flourished in South America were demolished by conquest, except this one. But they do not speak to us, and no Colombian speaks their language. The Kogi do not like strangers walking their roads. They call us the younger brothers, children who do not understand how to take care of the world. "400 years ago, they withdrew for safety into the heart of the world. And from the hidden folds of the mountain, they have watched our civilization in silence. They have seen our cities grow. Some of them even visit Santa Marta at the mountain's foot to learn about us. And yet, most people in the city are quite unaware of their existence." The Kogi have watched Colombian farmers invade the base of the Sierra and create a spreading cancer of sterile dust. But neither the original conquerors nor modern farmers have ever colonized the higher parts of the Sierra. Missionaries and officials who tried to take control up here had a long, difficult journey. And when they arrived, they met a passive human wall of resistance. It worked. Even today, this jungle represents a barrier that separates the world of the Kogi from our world. Here there are 12,000 people living in cities without the wheel. Farmers without the plow, educators without the written word, priests who have the power of government. To learn how the Tairona organized the life of the heart of the world, I would have to go to the Kogi. Everyone said this was impossible. A government official who the Kogis trust climbed the mountain with my letter. A Spanish-speaking Kogi went with her to interpret it. And eventually word came back. The Mamas wanted to speak. They said they had a message to give to the world. I would not be allowed to see everything or learn every secret. I never learned anyone's real name. Everyone is known by a Spanish pseudonym. I was told that I should bring whoever I needed and whatever I needed. That's me, Alan Ereira, with the mule. The Kogi, naturally enough, called me the BBC. Whatever I was there as a messenger for the younger brother.
In the beginning, the Great Mother divided up the earth. She sent you far away, far away, far away. And in this place she put us. Then the younger brother came back again to this side of the world. He came back again. And he started to destroy and he started to kill us. So now you've reached here. The younger brother is at the gate of the elder brother. We want you blocked from crossing over. We do. Younger brother climbs, and we retreat before him. He has taken our lands below, but the lands above are closed to you. It was said long ago to the younger brother that he should stay in his place over there But he never listens. Still, he keeps on coming and trying to get in here. So now he must stop, right here. Isn't that what the mother said?
Just once. You will come through the gate.
This is my third successive January in the Sierra, but it's the first time I've ever been allowed up this far. Up to now, I've been kept in frontier regions, and all our filming so far has been in a frontier region. But up here, now we've crossed that bridge, we are in Kogi territory and about to enter a city, a large town at any rate, which has been occupied continuously since before the conquest, which is built on Tairona foundations, which is a functioning Tairona city. We are now entering the last functioning civilization of pre-Columban America.
Bueno, entonces allá va de Google para coger. Va de ich ni ich noch nicht tamam checken ticken du aquí nado. Es mit dem geholt wird der kike was gerade quasi nada. Ich mir gebe und sagen eigentlich mein tamam in kada gut قشقنكي. Hey gun inki ai du شفان inki. نقاش منكو. Bueno, entonces ya اسقطي وقع. هيدا مديك من دعوتي مديك مش بتقول وتاني ما انت جانك مجبيك الشيء
The ordinary citizens were described to me as vassals. Their lives are ordered and directed by cabos, the city guards. They control what comes in from the outside. Iron tools are useful, but shoes would break the contact between people and the earth. Cabos are drawn from the vassals. They're appointed by the priests, the mamas. They take their orders from a commissioner, also appointed by the mamas. All, mamas, commissioners, and cabos, are confirmed by consulting an oracle. Mama means the sun. The mamas are the enlightened ones. They watch over the community and maintain its purity. All Kogi men carry a gourd, the poporo. This gourd may look like a penis, but it represents a womb. It contains powdered seashells. Their word for this substance, dua, means stardust, the germ of life. Without it, unbalanced masculinity is dangerous. Eating from it keeps a man in harmony with the Great Mother. As the wet stick is wiped on the top, it builds up a deposit of hardened lime on the rim. Here, they say, they write their thoughts. The gourd becomes a book of meditation. In each town, there's a large house where only men may enter. This is the Nuwe, the World House. For more than 1,000 years, the mamas have summoned men to the Nuwe to listen to their teaching. This is how they keep the community in harmony with nature. And now, after centuries of concealment, they have summoned us to listen.
I'm here, we all are here, to give a warning. I'm speaking on behalf of us all, to send out a message to all the younger brothers, and I'm going to have to say it in a way that they can understand. Not just a message for the men who've come, and whatever place, wherever it is they've come from. Not just for the men who've come. I want the whole world to listen to the warning that we speak to you.
She taught. The Great Mother taught. She taught us right and wrong. And still we have not given up living in the way and knowing right from wrong as she taught us. We remember her teaching and live by it. The Great Mother taught and taught. The Great Mother gave us what we needed to live, and her teaching has not been forgotten right up to this day. We all still live by it. But now they are taking out the mother's heart. They are digging up the ground and cutting out her liver and her guts. The mother is being cut to pieces and stripped of everything. From their first landing they have been doing this.
Younger brother, we know that water down below has started drying up. Don't think that we are responsible. It's you. We are doing our work properly, and neither you nor us know when the world will end, isn't it, sir?
We work to take care of the world, but they are ending.
So from today, stop digging into the earth and stealing the gold. If you go on, the world will end. You are bringing the world to an end.
I want to give some advice to tell the real truth to the younger brother. If they go on like this and they don't change their ways at once, they'll see what will happen. They'll see what will happen. I don't know when the world will end, but their looting will destroy it. They've taken so much. They've taken the guardians of the sun and stars. The world will go black. Yes, what would they think if all we mamas died? Would they think? So what? What would they think? If that happened and all we mamas died, and there was no one doing our work, well, the rain wouldn't fall from the sky. It would get hotter and hotter from the sky, and the trees wouldn't grow and the crops wouldn't grow. Or am I wrong and they would grow anyway?
Are we really meant to believe that the Kogi have been secretly taking care of the world for centuries? They believe it. They are the elder brothers. That's why they live the way they do. Their cities are usually deserted. They only visit them for public meetings. The Kogi live on the land. They're farmers like their ancestors. Husband, wife, and children maintain a number of farms in different zones on the mountain, growing a variety of crops on each plot. Their agriculture is based on generations of detailed observation of climate, soil, and the flora and fauna of each region. They believe that human beings have to control nature, but that control is based on understanding what each plant gives to and takes from the world. Human beings, plants and animals, they say, must be well seated. Beans are being planted close to the farmhouse. Only women may do this. It's part of the relationship between the mother of a family and the Mother Earth. For the Kogi, practical knowledge is simply an aspect of spiritual understanding.
Everything we plant must be blessed. They must be helped to grow. Beans, corn, they all have guardians. Fruit trees too. They all have guardians. They all have guardians. We must ask the guardians permission. If we didn't do that, then if crops aren't blessed, how can they grow properly? They dry up and rot without it. That's how it is.
So we take the children to the mama so that he blesses them. And then he'll look after them and take care of their health and spirit. And when the children get sick, you have to take them to be healed. We bring them to the mamas so that they concentrate and cure the children, make them better. That way all the children get to know the mamas. We take them to the mamas to get cured, and sometimes they're not cured, and they die, and then we cry and cry.
Humans need water. They have to have water to live. The earth is the same. It was made perfect by Saranqua, but now it is weak and diseased. The animals die, the trees dry up, people become ill. Many new illnesses will appear. There will be no cure or medicine for them. And the reason is that younger brother is violating fundamental principles continually, totally. Drilling, mining, extracting petrol, minerals, stripping away the world. This is destroying all order and damaging the world. BBC, tell the younger brother, open your eyes. Hear the mama's law and story, learn how things really are.
Blackness, only the sea. In the beginning there was no sun, no moon, no people. In the beginning there were no animals, no plants, only the sea. The sea was the mother. The mother was not people. She was not anything. Nothing at all. She was when she was. Spirit. She was memory and possibility. She was a Luna.
The mamas say that we do not remember the Great Mother. She is not a distant god. She is the mind inside nature. The mother is fertility and intelligence.
Where does the idea of Earth come from? Where do we get the idea of water? Why do we have a word for it? These things were conceived in the beginning, before the dawning. These were ideas, water and earth. We can only have ideas of things that have already been conceived in a Luna. Before the dawning, before there was anything, we were conceived in the water of a Luna. So were the trees, the mountains, everything.
And then the mother began to spin out her thoughts. She heaped up a spindle before the dawning, and the mother spun 9 worlds. She gave birth to 9 daughters. Each world had its own color, and she gave birth to sons, the lords of creation. One was Saranque, and then she wondered, how will we create a living thing? It was hard to understand how to make a human. The mother and her children had to think very hard. How does an eye work? How does a foot work? And when it was done, the 9th world was peopled. But this was before the dawning. There was still no people, no plants, no animals, no sun. Only the mother, only Aluna.
At the foot of the mountain, Colombian tomb robbers are plundering the graves of the Kogi's ancestors. This jar is over 1,000 years old. It was made as a womb of clay for the dead. The potter fasted and meditated as he worked. The shattered jar is of no interest at all. These men are not academic researchers. A tomb like this, exceptionally deep with stone walls like a well, will be torn to pieces. The smell of gold has become so strong. The hunting is coming to its climax.
The mother bled. She had her period. She was fertile, and the world was fertile. Her blood is gold. It remains in the earth. It is fertility. Gold and water, blood and water, are necessary for the life of all things. And then human beings were made to care for the living things, the plants, the animals. This is why people were made.
This boy of 18 is being initiated as a man. He's fed dried leaves of the coca bush, tended and picked only by women, eaten only by adult men. They believe that natural coca civilizes men. The toasted leaf they chew is as far from refined cocaine as rye bread is from rye whiskey. It has been a food for thousands of years for Native Americans, giving them important vitamins and enabling them to endure long periods without food and sleep. Adult Kogis reckon their normal life expectancy as 90.
At night, before you sleep, chew the leaf. Chew 4 times at least, to help you think clearly. And think what you're going to do the next day, what things need to be done, and how you're going to do them. Think it through.
Mama Bernardo comes from a long line of ancient priests. His father died in 1987, 102 years old. Now he teaches the young man how to use a poporo, to eat from it, and to meditate.
You mustn't give up using the poporo and eating coca, now or in the future. Otherwise, you're not a man and can't be married.
Now the youth will be admitted for the first time to the Nuhwe, the world house, where only men may gather. He will sit for 4 days and nights with his face to the wall. He will neither sleep nor eat. He must listen to the teaching of the town officials and elders.
Now you're going to have to pay attention and think carefully about everything the mamas say. You must listen to their words, you must remember what they tell you, and you must think about it very carefully, and that way you will behave well. You can't just cut banana trees, you can't cut them, because banana trees are like your father, like your mother. You have to respect them as much as any person. You must be respectful. You shouldn't cut down mango trees, or avocado trees, or guayaba trees. Any growing tree is like a human being, and they hurt too, just like you were cutting off your own leg. Nor should you disturb stone.
The mamas tune themselves to Aluna, the inner reality of the world. They must be prepared for this from infancy. They are selected by divination and taken away. It's not enough to simply teach the child. Mama Bernardo started his education late.
I'll tell you what it's like. When I began my education, I was only a boy, this big, up to here. I was just a child. They brought me up and they trained me to be a mama. 9 years. That's how long it took, my training. 9 years. And at the end of that, it was done. I was ready. But really, to tell you the truth, to pass on the teaching really properly and do it really well, to do it in the right way, you take a baby. Best a baby from the moment that it's born. Then you take it away and you keep it in a new way. To make a mama like they used to, then you have to take the child as soon as it's born, and from then on you keep it shut away.
The child is kept in complete darkness, sometimes in a specially built house, sometimes in a cave. It learns to meditate on the Great Mother, and on other spirits who come from the Mother, the guardians of all living things. These must be helped and cared for, because they nurture the world. They must be given nourishment, represented by offerings of fragments of thread and leaf and stone.
Calculate. Any pagamento, lata, tapos sa karap. Ama kanyi koto, haba magkisali kanyi koto, ni haba ki kanyi kisalato. Nung nang kamago nung kikimang koto tapoy ne, ama kancha. Wala nech, wuchi kakay, wuchi nyo ka ako ni kuy nukak. Kaji kabwa, haba ko na muksara na dazaki abwa, askabwa. Kaguni nukak.
In a sense, the student mama has been kept in a second womb. To 9 months have been added 9 years. Old wise men came into the dark, speaking of an outside world which could only be imagined. What must it be like to emerge into the light? His life, the child has known the world only as an idea. His physical senses have been kept alive, but only just. Just enough light to avoid blindness, just enough food to avoid starvation. But no meat, no salt, only lukewarm water to drink. And now, in place of the world he has imagined, he sees the world created by the Great Mother. He could not have imagined the grandeur or the detail. What a power there is in the mind of the Great Mother to conceive all this. And this power has been shaped in so many ways, so many forces. A vibrant, powerful dance has been shaped, the dance of life. He had been told of it, but he must be dazed by it for the rest of his life. The Mama has to work in a world visible only to the mind's eye, the world of Aluna. The offerings he learned to make in the dark are now made in the light of day, creating harmony in the spirit world and in this one. The stone paths of the ancestors are traces of the spirit paths which the Mamas walk, in a space we do not understand. These are the paths on the mapstone. They do not match the material pathways. They are lines of thought, not lines on the ground. But there were points where the two worlds used to meet. At these sacred places, gold was hung from the trees. Immortal gold carried the mystery of life from Aluna into matter. Human beings could make this journey by meditating on the gold and dancing with it. body ornaments of gold helped humans play their part in the dance of life. Today, these objects sit in museum displays, without meaning and without function. We know nothing about them.
Mama says in our history, Mama says that here in this land, there was only and everywhere throughout the land the elder brother, all following the words of the Mama, and knowing all that a payment must be made for whatever we take from the land. This applies to everything. Not even the air we breathe, nor the water we drink, for all of it, of nature or machines, when you take, you make a payment.
But then Sarankwe created a younger brother. He didn't listen. He did not understand. He would dig in the earth, tear at the earth, wound the mother. And Sarankwe said, "We will send him away. We will make a division. The sea. The elder brother here in the heart of the world. The younger brother there, across the sea, where he will not harm the heart of the world." And he was given knowledge of machines and sent away.
The sugar press, like the sugar cane they grow and the horses and cattle they keep, had no place in the world of their ancestors. All these things came when the younger brother crossed the ocean to return, as the Kogi believed, to this original Eden. The sea, which the Indians believed gave birth to all life, had kept them apart from Europe's iron kingdoms. But the sea carried ships. They landed in 1514, and their commander, Bastidas, had a document read out on the beach.
I assure you that with the help of God, I will make war on you in every place and in every way that I can. And I will subject you to the yoke and obedience of the Church and their highnesses. And I will take your persons and your women and your children, and I will make them slaves. I will take your goods, and I will do you all the evils and harms which I can.
People used to live in peace all over this land. We, the elder brother, had no problems with the younger brother at all. Always in peace, in peace, in peace. That's how it was. And then he arrived. Younger brother arrived, and he started to kill us and to destroy. They set dogs on us, and we were terrified, and the people panicked and didn't know what to do and just ran wherever they could. That's how it was. Things fell from our bags as we ran and scattered everywhere. Falling, scattered. Our finest things. And when we stopped and we looked, hey, everything was gone. Nothing left. Down below, by the sea, there were the gold guardians. The guardians of yucca and of the trees. All the trees and all the birds were there, in the ground. They cut the earth, dug them out. They must stop doing it. Must stop doing it.
We once had golden bowls for divination, gold images, gold oracles, all these things. We prophesied with gold. We had many things. Younger brother took it all. So now we sorrow, we're weak, and see the earth is decaying, it is losing its strength because of your greed. You take gold and all the minerals out of the earth.
In London or New York, a collector may pay at least $10,000. It's an investment. The fingers that dig are Colombian, but they're powered by the market forces that drive us all. This was the site of a sacred freshwater lake. It was drained to build a power station. And here the Kogi have come to try to restore harmony to a shattered world, to struggle to give back its balance. They have to restore harmony over the whole Sierra, the heart of the world. While offerings are made down at the sea, others are making them high on the cold peaks above. As they approach the ocean, they turn, recalling the spindle from which the original thread was spun, and to which they still cling. Why are the Kogi so sure that the earth is in danger? The answer is high on the mountain peaks. Here is the source of their terror. This is our last day in the Sierra, and it's the highest point that we're going to reach. This is the tundra, what they call the Paramo. To the Kogi, this is the most sacred place of all, because this is what fertility depends on. The most important payments that they make to the soil are the ones which are carried down from here to the sea, and from the sea back up here. They mirror a natural exchange, a water cycle on which the whole fertility of the Sierra depends. This is where the rivers are born, as meltwater from the snow and the glaciers flow down to the sea through the forests and jungle. And that water comes back in the form of clouds, whose water is deposited here again. The whole life of the Sierra depends on this region. Around here, it's yellow. It should be green. These little bushes once covered the whole area. Now, they're perishing. The water has gone. The Paramo is drying out. There used to be snow visible all around here. Now the snow is retreating very rapidly. When the Kogi talk about the heart of the world dying, what's frightened them is the death of this area, the Paramo, because when this dies, everything below it that depends on it will have to die. That's what they mean when they say that they know that unless we do something, the world is coming to an end.
It is the mountains which make the waters. the rivers and the clouds. If their trees are felled, they will not produce any more water.
The Sierra is a model of the world. Global warming does not stop here. We are changing the air and the sky and the balance of life.
They have taken the clouds from the Paramo. They have sold the clouds. We know what is happening, and we're all in agreement. The world does not have to end. If we act well, the world can go on.
We are going to close the bridge now, but we want younger brother to know that he can't come here again. He can't come back. We are putting a barrier here so that he respects us. Understand? We don't want him coming up here and interfering with us. He has destroyed so much. Does he see? No. Understand? No. Start to understand, or what will happen? Right, that's it.